BJ Peters here from stampingbj.com, and I'm back with another tip. I want to talk to you about adhering vellum to your cardstock and how you can make it look great without all of those adhesive lines. Plus, I got another great tip for you with the Stamparatus. Let's get started. And here's a close-up of that card. There are so many great elements on this card that I can't wait to share with you. What I started off with was this greeting, and it's because I needed a greeting for someone who was really kind of struggling, and I wanted to build them up. And I knew I wanted it to be soft and pretty. So what I did was I used our amazing Occasions catalog, and I combined two of the products in there. First, I used this strong and beautiful stamp set that honestly, for women, I love this stamp set with all the greetings in it. It's one of those ones that you're just going to have to look up for yourself. Since I wanted it soft and pretty, I went to the Floral Romance product suite. And this Floral Romance Specialty Designer Series paper is one of those things that I love. And it's a specialty paper, so it's a little bit different. You get 3 each. So this is one side, and so this is opposite sides, and this is opposite sides. And then you get 3 each of this vellum and this vellum. And this is the vellum I'm going to work with today. And you know, one of the challenges I hear from my customers is they don't know how to adhere it. So let's talk about that and let's get that done. So I've got a strip here of 1.5 inch by 4 1/4 inch of that gorgeous vellum. And you can see how it really comes to life when you back it with Whisper White cardstock that is the same size. Let me adhere them together for you. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and then what I have is a little Tupperware container, and I've got a little sponge in there, and I just add some glue to the lid. You can see I keep using it over and over again, and I just have a little handle, little clippy handle on here. And I'm just going to get this sponge all wet, and I'm going to sponge the entire back side of this vellum with the glue, Tombow multi-purpose adhesive, on my silicone mat. Spread that glue out so it's all covered. And then we'll pick that up. And then I can move my glue surface right off the edge of my table here, and then I can lay my vellum right on top of my Whisper White cardstock. I'll turn it over and make sure that I get it good adhesion and burnish it just a little bit, and I've got a perfectly matched up beautiful little vellum adhesive. I'm going to bring in my card base here. This is Petal Pink, so I pulled the colors for this right from the Floral Romance Specialty Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to take my vellum and I'm going to adhere it to a 1 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of fresh fig cardstock. And then we'll adhere that to our card base. There we go. Gorgeous. I honestly love this vellum. I don't know. I have more projects coming with it because I couldn't put it away once I started working with it. So now I want to create that greeting. We're using the Strong and Beautiful stamp set. So this is a rubber stamp set, and I'm actually just going to put it on my grid paper on top my Stamparatus here, and using one of the lines, line it up, make sure it's straight. And I've got a piece of Whisper White here, and we'll just use the magnets and adhere that down. Then I'm going to take my Stampin' Write markers and use them to ink up the greeting. So I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz and Fresh Fig. This is a perfect use for the Stamparatus because I can use the side of my Stampin' Write markers here and ink this up, and especially this fresh, or the Pear Pizzazz that's a little bit lighter. Sometimes, you know, when you use those Stampin' Write markers on your greetings or like this, they don't get dark enough. But with the Stamparatus, I can come back and add a second layer of ink, and I'm going to have a perfectly inked up greeting every time. All right, here comes the magic. Give that a good press down there. And as you can see, I could use a little more ink, actually, probably on both of them. So let's just go ahead and do that. There we go, finished adding the ink, and now let's do it again. Perfect. I know this is going to be awesome. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Want to see it really close? There you go. Isn't that great? Love it when you can use your Stampin' Write markers for that and your Stamparatus. I actually am using my Stamparatus a lot. I practically leave it on my desk all the time now. So you'll notice on this card that I've used our brand new product of the stitched rectangular framelits to create just a little more detail around the card. It just screams that it needed that soft detail. So let me tell you about the rectangular framelits. Just check out these babies. Here you go, all but one of them. So there are 16 of them, and look at how nicely they layer together. Here is our greeting and in that die, and I'm just punching out from the inside, and look at that stitch detail. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to adhere that to a piece of fresh fig cardstock. So the fresh fig is 1.5 by 3.5. So a little bit like a 1/4 inch more on each side. And we'll position that right there. And you notice I had this little detail here. So part of the Wonderful Romance product suite are the framelits that coordinate with it. And this is one of the leaves from that framelit set. And I'm going to pull back in my silicone pad because you can use that same gluing technique for little images just like this. That way I get that tiny little stem there. Perfect. Look at that. So there you go. So a couple of tips for you about adhering vellum and using the little Tombow adhesive and a sponge, and how you can use that also for some of your smaller die cuts. And then of course using the Stamparatus to use several different colors on greetings and getting a great look with that. Thanks for stopping by today. You can purchase these products in my online store at stampinbj.com. And as always, remember to create and feel really great.